Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, because we're finally doing another upload. So, this is gonna be the first Duel Links and Yu-Gi-Oh related deck of lists that I'm gonna do. And today, if you're not aware because you don't watch Duel Links or play the game, which is fair, but if you do, they released a new structure deck that includes Cyber Dragons, and they're first of all one of my favorite decks TCG wise, and overall we got some amazing support in you know, like Cyber Dragon Nova, such as other stuff like Cyber Dragon Asher, which is just simply Monster Reborn, also reprinting Cyber Dragon, which is great. Overall, amazing cards that actually make the deck really worthwhile, and on top of these amazing new cards, we also got a new skill which allows us for 3 times every duel change the level of a Cyber Dragon monster in the field to level 5, meaning that we can essentially always have an XC play. So we essentially have this, which is the new way to play Cyber Dragons. Now, if you're not aware what Cyber Dragons is, or if you have only played Cyber Dragons in TCG, or maybe you've never played Cyber Dragon Duel Links, point is, and if you know this, they are an OTK deck, which means one turn kill. Essentially, this deck wants to kill their opponent as quickly as possible by beating them with battle damage. Thing is, before, a Cyber Dragon deck would literally be 1 Cyber Dragon, 2 core, and then 17 spells, or maybe 1 Cybernetic Overflow if you were lucky. And honestly, it was just simply very cheesy, very easy to get kills with, because it would just do that. It would OTK, but way too consistently, and also, it would just not be a fun time. Like, you basically couldn't do jack shit about it, but the thing is, if you could do something against it, then it would lose immediately, because if you had to summon core to search your card, if it gets negated or interrupted, you die immediately, or if you summon your Chimera and it got interrupted, then you died immediately. It was an all or nothing. You either kill your opponent, or literally you play a single card and you lose because your opponent said no to it. Luckily, the new variant of Cyber Dragon, besides being very much so able to OTK, actually can do more than that, in the sense that it can actually make control plays and not die immediately. So the good thing about actually being able to play multiple monsters instead of, you know, 3 and then 17 spells, is the fact that you actually have plays. In the sense that Cyber Style Evolution, as mentioned before, if we go over to the skill down here, allows us to select 1 Cyber Dragon on our field and change the level to level 5 3 times per duel. You can only use this effect twice per in the same turn, so that's fine. It allows you to make a rank 5, so it's okay. You do need to have 12 or more Dragon type or Mission type Cyber monsters in the deck, which is also fine. And in one of the best parts about this skill, because if changing the level wasn't enough, you get a free Power Bond and a free Cyber Emergency added to your deck. Power Bond, honestly, you have no way to search it. The searcher that they gave us is bad. I'm sorry, it's really bad. It's not like we have Chimera Tech, the Cyber Dark monster that we got recently in TCG, so we can't do much, sadly, with that. But Cyber Emergency does allow us to do a lot, since you can search this with Core, which then searches you a Cyber monster, and if it gets negated, you get to add it back to hand. Overall, really consistent, and we have some amazing plays to do with the deck. So to start off with, like, a quick little, you know, deck rundown, you place 3 Cyber Dragon. You're gonna want to play 3 of this card whenever, and no matter what Cyber Dragon deck you play, because we have stuff like Machine Duplication, which if you play TCG, you know that this card is a 1-card infinity, but in this situation we're just making Nova, so it's still fine because Nova is really good in Duel Links. We play 3 Veer, free special summon, boosts, so allows you to like beat over stuff with Cyber Dragon as well, so it's not the worst thing in the world, could be worse. Core, which is, as the name suggests, is literally the core of the deck. Normal summon, search any Cyber spells trapped from your deck to your hand, and also, if you control no monsters and you didn't use this effect the same turn, you can banish it from your graveyard, special summon any Cyber Dragon monster from your deck. Which, yes, you can summon Cyber Dragon Nashter, then be able to go into your Chimera Take Rampant Dragon if it's in the graveyard, or Nova, or Sidra, because as long as it has 2100 attack or 2100 defense, you can summon it from grave, which is amazing. So if you properly summon the Rampage Dragon and a Nova, you're able to revive it with Nashter by just having a core in the graveyard and surviving the turn, which is really good. Sadly, the old version of Cyber Dragon got Cyberload Fusion and Overflow semi-limited, so you can only play one of each. You still want to play one of each though, because they're basically like your best stuff. Cybernetic Overflow not only does it get banished fodder out for your Cyberload Fusion, it also helps you to destroy your opponent's stuff. And guess what? It's non-targeting destruction, so you can outstuff that cannot be targeted. You can outstuff like Lunalites and other monsters that would have non-targeting shenanigans. In my opinion, really good card. You always want to at least be able to play one. It's your turn one play per se. But if it gets popped, you can search Cyberload Fusion and Cyber Emergency since it gets added with the skill. Since the deck now doesn't rely too easily on getting Rampage out that quickly, you do need to run back removal. If you have MST, use MST. I personally don't have MST. I'm gonna run Cosmic. It still works, and it's fine, and probably that allows you to go into limited 3 cards. But overall, as long as you have one way to get rid of Backrow, you're good. Same goes for Forbidden Lance. You can probably start cutting Cosmic for another Lance if you so wish. It depends on how you find the deck working. Overall, especially in the mirror match, because since the biggest stat that you're usually going to find is 2100, you can use this to Forbidden Lance their monster, whether it be a Rampage or a Dragon Nova, and if they don't have a way to boost them up, you can win the battle. So overall, really good, and once again, protects your monster. Extra deck, which is where stuff kind of gets oddly spicy. So I'm running Cyber End Dragon. I do have a friend of mine, Gaby Moga, shout out to him once again, who does want to play Twin Dragon. I like Twin Dragon. Twin Dragon is good. I personally don't have Twin Dragon. Might get it with a UR ticket. If you have it, probably play it. I do like Cyber End Dragon because, you know, animation and everything, and it's not too shabby. So if you have Twin Dragon, probably play that. Don't play the other Chimera techs besides Rampage, and you want to play Rampage at 2. So it's fine. You basically, the main cyber stuff that you play is to Rampage, to Nova, Cyber and Dragons for the sake of blitzing. Because one cool thing about Nova, if you didn't know, so just to gloss over, you know Rampage, once Fusion Summoned, pops Backrow to equal the amount of materials used for its Fusion Summon. You can mill stuff from the deck to then attack that amount of stuff of cards that you milled. So in this situation, you usually get 3 attacks, which is good. But we have some spicy stuff in the way of Cyber Dragon Nova. Cyber Dragon Nova allows you to detach an XC material to special summon a Cyber Dragon from your graveyard. That's nice, it's good, allows you to get more fodder to go into other rank 5s. But it also has an effect, besides having an honest effect, which is good, which allows you to banish a Cyber Dragon from either your field or hand to then make it gain 2000 attack. But that's not what we're going to focus on. We're going to focus on when it is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a machine type fusion monster from your extra deck. This is not specifying Cyber. So you can summon stuff like Barbroid, the ultimate battle machine, which is absolutely hilarious. Because this boy can make a second attack during each battle phase. It cannot attack your opponent directly, but honestly, I think this card will still be able to do enough. After damage calculation, if this card attacks an opponent's monster, negate the effects of that monster, including graveyard, and if this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. This thing is a house and a half, and it's absolutely hilarious that if they Leveneer your Nova, or they Raigeki break it, or any other form of destruction, summon out an ultimate meme, which is absolutely amazing, and unironically, good card. Good card. And in terms of rank 5, we are playing 2 Nova and 1 Volcasaurus. Now it's debatable in what way you want to go. I like Volcasaurus because it allows me to get closer to the damage threshold for the sake of burn damage. But if you do have, which I sadly do not, let me go over here. See, rank 5 filter. This boy. If you have Keeper or Agris Keeper of Armageddon, probably play it instead. Has basically better stat line, and on top of that, it's just a free pop because it pops whatever. So unironically, this is probably the best card to play. I do enjoy this though because it will destroy a monster and it will burn. And funny enough, I thought this card couldn't attack, but the only condition is that it cannot attack directly that same turn, which is fine, because then you can just use this to beat over defense stuff or some attack stuff, and then just have your Dragon Nova attack for game, or Rampage, or whatever the hell you're playing. Overall, really good. I really enjoy this. This deck is really amazing, and so sorry for the long explanation, but yeah, this deck has a lot of potential. There's still other ways to be able to build this, in my opinion. Like, you're probably not gonna need Cosmic Cyclone, or maybe not gonna need lands. Maybe there's gonna be a better way to play it with stuff like Overload, which is something that I am gonna be testing, because right now this is Mark 1 of this deck. But Overload Fusion is really good, and it would still allow you to go into stuff like Chimera Rampage Dragon, and it will add you fuel for your Cyberload Fusion. So we don't know. Maybe there's a better way to play this. I feel like that right now this is one of the best ways to play the deck. By the way, shout out once again to Gaby Moga X. I'll leave his link in the description below. He is the one who came up for the basis of this idea on this build of the deck. And I'm just simply just doing a different variant in terms of probably some different extra deck choices that he's not taking, and also I'm going for less back removal than he is and more forbidden lands because I really like lands. And also, before you go to some replays, Cyber Repair Plant, a card that was bad until now, is finally playable since you have so many Cyber Dragon monsters that you're playing now. Essentially, if you have a Cyber Dragon in your graveyard, you can either search a Land Machine type monster or target a Land Machine monster in your graveyard and send it to the deck. Thing is, if you have 3 or more Cyber Dragons in your graveyard, you can do both effects, so search and return a monster to your deck. We don't know if it's decent, if it's that good, since we already have one Cyber Emergency with the skill, which that's all you're gonna need, to be honest. But for now, this should be enough. But yeah, let me know. Leave a comment down below or something like that if you think this build is bad or it could have an improvement. I'm down to hear as many suggestions as possible, because I think this deck has some really good potential, because it's very OTK heavy. It can survive quite a few stuff. I actually survived a few Book of Moons and a Treacherous Trapple thanks to it. So this deck is no longer a glass cannon. It's not a full out and die if a single interruption comes. It can actually do multiple stuff even if interrupted. So yeah. Well, now let's go to the replays. So, see you guys in the next video.